Welcome to Trending Update USA. This is your trusted home for the biggest stories shaping the world of sports, and I am Steffan. Tonight, Melbourne once again becomes the heartbeat of global tennis as three of the sport's most magnetic stars, Carlos Alcaraz, Aryna Sabalenka, and Coco Gauff, march confidently into the third round of the Australian Open, delivering performances that electrified Rod Laver Arena and reaffirmed why the opening Grand Slam of the year continues to set the tone for everything that follows. Under the bright lights and unrelenting Australian sun, each of these champions told a different story of resilience, evolution, and unmistakable star power, captivating fans from the first ball to the final handshake. Carlos Alcaraz stepped onto court carrying not only the expectations of a former world number one, but also the renewed hunger of a player determined to prove that his explosive brand of tennis can dominate every surface, every season, and every moment. From the opening games, Alcaraz displayed the hallmark qualities that have already defined his young career: fearless shot-making, elastic movement, and an instinctive feel for momentum. His opponent attempted to disrupt rhythm with variations in pace and depth, but Alcaraz responded with the composure of a veteran, constructing points patiently before unleashing forehands that cut through the court like lightning. The Spanish star's serve, often scrutinized under pressure, held firm when it mattered most, allowing him to dictate play and control the emotional tempo of the match. As the contest unfolded, Alcaraz's ability to blend creativity with discipline stood out. Drop shots were used not as gimmicks, but as calculated weapons, pulling his opponent forward before passing shots and lobs punished any hesitation. Each rally became a chess match played at breathtaking speed, and Alcaraz consistently stayed one move ahead. The crowd, sensing something special, roared with every daring winner, feeding the energy that Alcaraz so often transforms into momentum. By the time he sealed his place in the third round, it was clear that this was not merely a routine victory. It was a statement of intent from a player who sees Melbourne as unfinished business. Across the grounds, Aryna Sabalenka brought a very different, yet equally compelling, force to the tournament. The reigning champion arrived in Melbourne with the weight of expectation heavier than ever, but also with the confidence of someone who has conquered these courts before. Sabalenka's power tennis is both feared and admired, and in her second-round performance, she reminded the world why. From the first serve, she imposed herself physically and mentally, striking the ball with authority and refusing to surrender control of the baseline. Her serve, a cornerstone of her dominance, repeatedly dismantled return games, earning her crucial free points and setting the tone for extended rallies. What made Sabalenka's performance especially significant was her composure. In past seasons, moments of frustration occasionally disrupted her flow, but this time, she remained locked in, even when challenged. When rallies stretched longer and errors threatened to creep in, Sabalenka adjusted intelligently, adding margin to her shots without sacrificing aggression. Her footwork, often overlooked amid the raw power, was sharp and purposeful, allowing her to maintain balance and timing even under pressure. Each game, she claimed, felt like a reaffirmation of her champion's mindset, and when match point arrived, she closed with clinical precision, earning a roar of approval from fans who recognize greatness when they see it. Meanwhile, Coco Gauff continued her own remarkable journey, embodying both the promise of the future and the poise of the present. Still one of the youngest players in the draw, Gauff has already amassed experiences that many veterans would envy, and her second-round victory showcased just how far she has come. From the outset, Gauff's athleticism and court coverage were on full display, turning defense into offense with astonishing ease. Her opponent tested her with aggressive play, but Gauff absorbed the pressure, redirecting pace and using angles to gradually seize control of rallies. What truly distinguished Gauff's performance was her mental clarity. In moments when the match tightened and momentum threatened to swing, she stayed calm, relying on patterns she trusts and executing with confidence. Her serve, increasingly reliable, provided stability, while her backhand, arguably one of the finest in the game, proved a consistent source of winners. The American star moved seamlessly between attack and defense, demonstrating a tactical maturity beyond her years. Each point she won seemed to reinforce her belief, and by the time she secured her spot in the third round, It felt less like a breakthrough and more like the natural continuation of a rising champion's path. Together, these three victories painted a vivid picture of the Australian Open's unique magic. In Melbourne, tradition and innovation collide, where seasoned champions defend legacies and emerging stars chase destiny under the same unforgiving sun. Alcaraz, Sabalenka, and Gauff represent different chapters of tennis's evolving story, yet all share a common drive to push boundaries and redefine excellence. Their performances resonated not just because of the results, but because of the emotions they stirred. Anticipation, admiration, and the irresistible pull of what might come next. For Alcaraz, the third round opens the door to deeper challenges and the opportunity to measure himself against rivals who know his game well. Each match now carries added significance, as the margins narrow and the intensity escalates. Yet if his second round displays any indication, Alcaraz is prepared to embrace the grind, blending flair with focus as he chases another Grand Slam milestone. The confidence in his movement, the clarity in his shot selection, and the joy he brings to the court all suggest a player thriving in the spotlight rather than shrinking from it. Sabalenka's journey, too, grows more compelling with every win. As defending champion, she understands that every opponent will bring their best, eager to dethrone her. But the Belarusian star appears ready for the challenge, armed with a refined mental approach and the same devastating weapons that carried her to glory before. The third round represents not just another step, but a reaffirmation that she belongs at the summit of the women's game, capable of withstanding pressure and delivering when expectations are highest. For Gauff, Melbourne offers a stage perfectly suited to her fearless spirit. Each victory strengthens her belief that she can contend with anyone, anywhere. The third round brings new tests, new narratives, and new opportunities to inspire fans who see in her both relatability and greatness. Her ability to balance youthful enthusiasm with professional discipline continues to impress, signaling that her best chapters may still lie ahead. As the Australian Open progresses, the stories of Alcaraz, Sabalenka, and Gauff intertwine with the broader tapestry of the tournament. Every match adds a layer of drama, every win reshapes the draw, and every performance fuels debates about form, favorites, and the future of the sport. What remains constant is the sense that tennis, at its highest level, is not merely about winning points, but about capturing moments that linger long after the final ball is struck. Melbourne's crowds, known for their passion and knowledge, have embraced these stars wholeheartedly, creating an atmosphere that elevates every contest. The cheers that followed Alcaraz's audacious winners, the applause that greeted Sabalenka's commanding serves, and the chants that echoed for Gauff's relentless defense all speak to a shared appreciation for excellence. In those moments, the lines between nations and rivalries blur, replaced by a collective celebration of the game itself. Looking ahead, the third round promises clashes that could define the tournament's trajectory. Momentum is a powerful force in tennis, and each of these players carries plenty of it into the next stage. Preparation, recovery, and adaptability will become increasingly crucial as matches grow longer and stakes rise higher. Yet if the early rounds have taught us anything, it is that Alcaraz, Sabalenka, and Gauff thrive when challenged, finding ways to elevate their game when it matters most. In the broader context of the tennis season, these victories also send a message. The new year has begun, and the sport's brightest lights are already shining. Fans around the world are reminded why they tune in, why they debate rankings and rivalries, and why each Grand Slam feels like a fresh chapter waiting to be written. The Australian Open, with its blend of tradition, intensity, and unpredictability, once again proves that it is more than just the first major of the year. It is a proving ground where champions are tested and legends begin to take shape. As night falls over Melbourne Park and the echoes of today's matches fade, anticipation builds for what tomorrow will bring. Will Alcaraz continue his fearless charge? Can Sabalenka maintain her champion's composure under mounting pressure? Will Gauff seize the moment and push even deeper into the draw? These questions linger, fueling conversations and expectations, and ensuring that the world will be watching closely as the tournament unfolds. Here on Trending Update USA, we'll be with you every step of the way, bringing you the stories that matter, the moments that inspire, and the performances that define the sport we love. For now, the message from Melbourne is clear: Carlos Alcaraz, Aryna Sabalenka, and Coco Gauff are through to the third round of the Australian Open, and their journeys are only just beginning. Stay with us, because at this tournament, history is never far away, and the next unforgettable moment is always just one match away.